guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing 15 shows that you have to watch on Netflix. These are shows that if you haven't watched already, you should definitely go and watch them. In this video, I'm just basically going to be naming shows, telling you what they're mostly about, kind of giving a summary of what the show is about, and then you can go watch it. The movies I have don't go in order of how much I love them. They're just random shows and there's no order to them. It's just random 15 shows that I picked that I think are really good and that you should go watch them. So let's get started. The first show I have is Vampire Diaries. This is actually my favorite show, I think, of all time. I've rewatched this show probably I know for sure over 10 times all the way through. There's 8 seasons and it's basically about vampires, but there's just this girl that's not a vampire. She meets a boy and he is a vampire, kind of like Twilight, but it's not anything like Twilight, so don't get the wrong idea there. But it's just basically about kind of this love triangle, and then there's werewolves involved, and it's really not a cheesy show at all. It's actually really good, and the way they do it makes it so entertaining and doesn't make it seem like it's all about vampires. They make it look really cool, and that's a really good one to go watch. The next show I have is for people who want to binge watch and who are okay with really long episodes and a lot of seasons. It's Grey's Anatomy. It's a really good show. I watched all of it. I think it's still going. Yeah, it's still going on TV. I don't know how many seasons there are on Netflix. I think there's 13, maybe 14 seasons on Netflix, and then I think they're on their 15th season right now, and it's really good. People love it. It's basically just surrounded by doctors and crazy stories and drama, and if you really like drama, that's the place to go. However, it's so sad. So many moments that you wish didn't happen that happen, and it's horrible, but also just makes you keep watching, and it's just all around a really good show. So I definitely think that that's a good one if you want to just lay down and binge watch, because each episode ranges from 45 minutes to an hour long, so it's pretty crazy. I think there's 20 episodes in each season. There's a lot of seasons, so if that's something that you want to binge watch, you definitely should. Next show I have is called Dexter. I watched this a long time ago. I don't even remember exactly everything, but I know that it's basically about a guy who lives kind of 2 lives. One, he is a detective and he helps detect bad crime that happens, and then the second one is he's an actual serial killer himself, and he only kills bad people and guilty people, but it's also he's just a mad serial killer who ends up having a relationship and an actual life, but they have no idea, the people around him, that he's actually a serial killer. But it's a really good show. It's really entertaining. It has Dexter himself narrating throughout the episodes about what he's thinking and everything as he's being a serial killer, as he's having 2 separate lives, and it's overall really good. The next show I was obsessed with, and I binge watched it really fast. I don't remember how many seasons there are. I think there's 5, but it's called Bates Motel, and this one is really, really weird. So if you like weird shows, this is definitely one that you should watch. But it's basically about a guy and his mom, and they own a hotel together. They decide to get a hotel, and they live in this big house right next to the hotel, and they run the business together, but they also have a weird relationship that you don't really understand unless you watch the show. But it's really good, really creepy, things that you wouldn't expect. The whole series finale, I did not expect at all. It was crazy, but it's a super good show, really entertaining, and it kept me watching it all the way through. It was really good. That's definitely one of the top ones for me because I was pretty obsessed with it. Next one is probably my second favorite show ever, and it's called New Girl. A lot of people have watched this. A lot of people love this show. I am obsessed with this show. I'm rewatching it right now with my boyfriend actually, and I think it's my 4th time rewatching it. It's so funny. This show is definitely something that everyone would like. It's just an all-around amazing show. It has about 5 or 6 characters, and they're all really funny, and they all basically live in an apartment together, and there's this girl that wants to live with them because she needs a place, and it's all these guys, 3 guys, and they decide to let this girl live with them because why not, I guess, and they all become best friends, and it's a really funny show, and everyone should go watch that. The next show just recently came out. Like, I don't remember when it came out. I think it was February or January that it came out, and it's called The Umbrella Academy. At first, I thought this looked not good, but my boyfriend started watching it, and he was obsessed with it, and I decided, why not give it a go? So I did, and it was actually really good. It's a really interesting show, and you don't really know what to expect when you're going in because there's not a lot said in the trailers and stuff, but it's actually really good. They did a really good job at portraying each character, and basically each character has like a superhero. Their dad died and they all came back together, and they're all siblings. Basically, that's really all I can tell you without spoiling things, but overall, that one's a pretty cool show. It has really cool editing, I think, and yeah, that one's definitely something you should watch. The next one is a huge one for Netflix. It's called Stranger Things. This show blew up after season 1, and everyone was talking about it. It was a huge show. It still is. Season 3 is coming out in July, but it's a really good show. I really love this show. Season 1 and 2 were really good. This is definitely like on the top spot. If you haven't seen it, you have to go watch it. There's many people that think that it's not good and that they don't understand why people are so obsessed with it, and I was one of those people until I watched it, and then I realized that it was absolutely amazing. It's like creepy and weird, but it's very humorous. So overall, a pretty great show. The next show, was pretty good. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. There are some, cringy parts, but it's overall a really good show, and there's some really good singing in it, and some I would prefer over the originals that they do covers of. This show is more of, a fun show to watch, and it's definitely a binge watch one. The next show came out recently, I think a little before Christmas or during Christmas, and it's called You, and this show is so creepy, but it's absolutely amazing. The show is crazy, but absolutely amazing, and I love how they did this show. It's basically about a guy who stalks this girl who ends up actually dating the girl, even though he's been a stalker this whole time, and she has no idea, and it's absolutely crazy, but it's amazing. The next show is kind of an inappropriate show, so younger viewers should stay away from it, but it's called Shameless, and it's a really funny show. It has amazing characters in it, and you get hooked really fast. I watched the first episode, and then I just wanted to keep watching. There's a lot of seasons. It's still going on TV right now. It's really, really good. It's one of my favorite shows for sure. Number 11 is called Young and Hungry. I don't think a lot of people know about this show, but it has the girl Emily Osment. She's known for Hannah Montana. She's the main character, and then this other guy, I forgot what his name is in the show, but him and her, she applies for a job to be a chef at his house, and they end up falling in love, and there's this big love story around it, and it's basically focused on her job versus her love life with him and how to keep that going, and it's also just really funny. So it's definitely a comedic show for sure, but it's also just a really good love story, and it's a wonderful show. The next show, if you haven't watched this, I don't know what you're doing. This is definitely top show for, I'd say, everyone who's watched it, and it's called Friends. I don't really have to say much about the show because I'm pretty sure everyone's watched it, but just the people who haven't, you have to watch it. Everyone I know that's watched it loves it. There's 10 seasons, so clearly it had to be good for it to get 10 seasons. The cast is amazing. They do a great job at portraying their characters, and it's so funny, and everyone has a favorite character, but it's definitely hard to choose. The next show is called The Fosters. I know there is actually a lot of people who know about this, but it's basically about these 2 women who adopt a lot of kids, and it starts out with this girl named Callie getting adopted, and it's basically a huge drama, love type show, but it's actually really good, and I think that a lot of people will enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I watched it all the way through. I know there's a spin-off show of it that they just aired on TV, but it's really good. I think it's called Good Trouble. I think that's what the spin-off is, but it's a really good show. It's really loving and it has a lot of drama, which I personally love drama shows, so that's pretty much why a lot of these are dramas, but they're really good. Okay, this one is a huge one. Everyone's recently been super obsessed with it and started watching it all over again. I watched it last summer all over again and I thought it was super good. It's called The Office. It's one of the funniest shows you will ever watch. And if you haven't watched it, you seriously have to, because it's so funny. The characters are amazing, and I just all around love that show because it's so weird, which makes it so hilarious, and the cast is wonderful, and that's definitely one of the #1 shows I'd say on these binge watch lists is definitely The Office from Netflix. And the last one that I have is called Black Mirror. This one's a really weird show. It's definitely different from all the other ones that I've talked about. But each episode is different and has no connection to the last episode, which I kind of like. I like that there's no story, because if I'm not binge watching it, then I don't have to worry about if I missed an episode or not. So they're all out of order. So you can watch them out of order because it doesn't matter what episodes you watch next to each other. But it's really good. It's really entertaining. And it definitely got my attention, and by the end of the episode it'll blow your mind thinking that there's no way, and basically you'll never expect the ending from every episode. So that's it for the 15 shows that I recommend on Netflix. They're really good, funny, a lot of drama, so definitely all of these I for sure recommend for all of you guys watching, because for me they were amazing binge watching shows and got me through the day when I just wanted to sit down and watch TV. So I definitely recommend you guys watch all of these, or some if you've already watched some of them. So I really hope that you liked this. Thank you for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you when I see you next.